Hello everybody. Today we're going to talk about ratio. That's how ratio is formed, what ratio is, and some examples, and how to answer ratio questions. If at any point you want to pause and rewind, by all means do so. If there's something that you can't understand or you just don't know how it works, if you ask one of your tutors, they will explain it to you in more detail. So let's look at some real life examples. Cordial. So in this case, orange cordial, it could be something like Ribena. When we're mixing cordial, we put so much juice into so much water. Again, that's a personal preference, but it is using ratio. Washing up liquid. This is for people without dishwashers or pre-dishwasher use. When we're washing the pots, we know how much washing up liquid we put in a bowl to how much water. We know not to put the whole bottle of washing up liquid into a washing up bowl. We add water, don't we? So we're using ratio, even though we don't know we're using it. Cooking or baking. So for example, if you had a recipe for 6 buns, but you didn't want 6, you wanted 12, you would know that you would have to double everything in the ingredients to get 12 buns. Again, it's ratio and proportion. So there's some real life examples. So what is ratio? Well, ratios are used to compare 2 or more quantities. Ratios, when we talk about ratios, we're talking about parts. Okay, for an example, the ratio of triangles to squares is. Now, you may have been told at school it's the smallest number first. However, this is incorrect. When we're working out ratios, it all depends on how it's written in the question or the statement. Now, in this statement, it says the ratio of triangles to squares. So triangles comes first, squares comes second. So let's count. How many triangles do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4 triangles. How many squares do we have? 1, 2, 3 squares. So our ratio would be 4 to 3. Okay, this is how we write a ratio. So we've got the 4 triangles, we've got 3 squares, and in the middle is the to sign. You may know this as a colon from English. Okay, so 4 to 3, triangles to squares. This means for every 4 triangles there will be 3 squares. So let's use ratios to compare the following quantities. 5 yellow blocks to 3 green blocks. So how would we write that? Well, we know that yellow comes first, green comes second. So it would be 5 to 3. So yellow to green would be 5 to 3. 10 boys to 14 girls. So again, it would be 10 to 14. Boys to girls, 10 to 14. 50 milliliters of water to 5 milliliters of orange. Again, water comes first, then the orange. It doesn't matter that the milliliters, all that matters is at the same unit of measure. So they're both millilitres. So we would have water to orange, 50 to 5. Okay. Now, now we know how to do that. Yeah. It's best practice to always simplify your ratios. For example, I've got 4 blue blocks and 2 yellow blocks. So, thinking back to what we did last time, the ratio of yellow to blue blocks is, so it's the yellows first. Okay? So yellow would be 2, to blue blocks would be 4. So it would be 2 to 4. Okay? Now that ratio is fine. However, it is not simplified. What we need to do is we need to simplify that ratio. The way we simplify it is we look and we see what number will go into both 2 and 4 exactly. This exact same way as we would simplify a fraction. Remember, when we're simplifying fractions, we're looking for the same number that's in the numerator, that's the top number, that can also go into the denominator, the bottom number. So, what number will go into 2 and 4 exactly? 2. 2 will go into 2 once, 2 will go into 4 twice. Or another way of doing it is saying, well, 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So we end up with 1 to 2. That is simplified. Remember, 1 goes into everything. So we can't simplify that any further. That is the ratio in its simplest form. So let's have a look at the following. And can we simplify them? Remember, you can pause this and check your answers after. So 5 to 10. Remember, I'm looking for a number that will go into both 5 and 10. So, you may have got it. Let's have a look. I look at 5 and 10. I know that 5 goes into 5 once, 5 goes into 10 twice. So my new simplified ratio would be 1 to 2. 7 to 21. I need to again find the highest number that goes into both 7 and 21. Seven goes into 7 once. 7 goes into 21 3 times exactly. Remember, we can't have any remainders. 12 to 8. Now, I can pause this if you wish, and then have a go. It doesn't matter that the first number is bigger than the second number. So I know that 4 goes into 12 3 times. 4 goes into 8 twice. So my simplified ratio is 3 to 2. There is no other number that will go into 3 and 2 exactly without any remainders. Therefore, it is its simplest form. 6 centimeters to 15 centimeters. Now, remember, we've got a common unit of measurement, centimeters, so everything's fine there. I need a number that will go into both 6 and 15. Now, I know that in my 3 times tables, 3 goes into 6 twice, 3, 6. 3 goes into 15. Well, let's count. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. 5 times. So my ratio is 2 to 5. Again, I can't simplify it any further than that. Therefore, that is its simplest form. 2 centimeters to 30 centimeters. Again, we've got a common measurement. They're both centimeters, so I don't need to change anything there. The only possible number, apart from 1, that will go into both 2 and 30 is 2. So 2 goes into 2 once. 2 goes into 30 15 times. 15. So the simplified version is 1 to 15. Yes, this 15 looks like a big number. However, there's no other number that will go into both of these two apart from 1. So that is its simplest form. Finally, 500 grams to 3 kilograms. Right, this time we don't have a common unit of measurement. They are different measurements. Even though they're still weight, we've got grams in this one, we've got kilograms in this one. We need to make them the same common measurement. So we need to think, how many grams are there in 1 kilogram? Well, there are 1,000 grams in a kilogram. So what I need to do, I would convert these into grams. If I convert them to kilograms, I'm going to end up with decimal points, and I don't want that. Okay, so I'm going to convert them into the lowest unit of measurement, which is grams. So my 3 kilograms will become 3,000 grams. So it's going to be 500 grams to 3,000 grams. Now I know that 500 goes into 500 once. 500 goes into 3,000 6 times. So my simplified ratio here would be 1 to 6. Now let's have a look about sharing ratio. So I have £10 and I want to share that £10 between Mandy and Lara in the ratio of 3 to 2. Now remember, when we're talking about ratio, we're talking about parts. Okay? Mandy has 3 parts. Lara has 2 parts. All these parts added together equal this £10. Okay? So if I'm sharing something, the operation I'm going to be using is division. So first of all, I work out how many parts there are in total. So remember, Mandy has 3 parts, Lara has 2 parts. So in total, that is 5 parts. So the £10 is going to be divided into 5 equal parts. So let's look at our parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I'm sharing this £10 between these 5 parts, I'm dividing. Remember, share is another word for divide. So I'm dividing by 5. So 1 part is 10 divided by 5 equals 2. So each of these parts is 2. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. That's the whole £10. Now remember, we can now go up to, if we remember, what the ratio was. 3 to 2. Mandy gets 3 parts. Laura gets 2 parts. So Mandy gets 3 parts. So that's 3 multiplied by 2. 1, 2, 3, which equals 6. So Mandy gets 6 parts. Laura gets 2 parts. These two here, 2, 4. So we're doing 2 multiplied by 2, which gives us £4. Okay. Right. Let's have a look at this next example. A 35 milliliter orange drink is made by mixing orange juice and water in the ratio of 4 to 3. So these ratios added together equal the whole of the orange drink. Yeah? So the orange juice, which is 4 parts, and the water, which is 3 parts, added together make up the whole 35 milliliter orange drink. So how many parts in total make up the whole orange drink? Well, it's the 4 parts of orange juice plus the 3 parts of water. That gives us 7 parts in total. So let's have a look at those 7 parts. There's our 7 parts. I'm now going to split this 35 milliliter orange drink between, or share it between, these 7 equal parts. So I do 35 divided by 7. That gives me 5 milliliters. So each one of these parts is 5 milliliters. We can check that by adding all these together. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Yes, that's correct. The 35 milliliter orange drink. Now, I know that 4 of these parts is orange juice. So if I do 5 multiplied by 4, that will give me 20 milliliters. So 5, 10, 15, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 20 milliliters of orange juice. That leaves 3 parts water. So I do 3 times 5, which is 50 milliliters. 5, 10, 15. So I know that 20 milliliters of orange juice, 15 milliliters of water equals the 35 milliliter orange drink. If I add these two together, I should get 35, which I do. 20 add 15 equals 35. Now we're getting more to an exam question, how it's actually worded. Uncle John wants to share £20 between Mark and Amy in the ratio of 3 to 1. How much money will each get? So remember, the whole thing is £20. That's going to be split between Mark and Amy in the ratio of 3 to 1. So Mark gets 3 parts, Amy gets 1 part. So I know that all these parts added together equal this £20. So I add these two together. 3 plus 1 equals 4. So there are 4 parts in total. The 4 parts equal £20. I want to find out what 1 part is. So again, I will have my 4 parts and I'm going to divide 20 by 4, which gives me £5. Each part is worth £5. 5, 10, 15, 20. I want to work out how much Mark will get. Well, Mark gets 3 of those parts, 5, 10, 15. So Mark gets £15. Amy gets 1 part, which is £5. 15 add 5 is 20. So I've done that one correct. Now this time we've got an extra ratio, but it doesn't make any difference. A recipe for pastry uses flour, margarine and water in the ratio of 6 to 3 to 1. So remember, we do it in exactly the same order. So the first one is flour, the second one is margarine, and the last one, the third one, is water. So 6 parts flour, 3 parts margarine, 1 part water. What is the weight of each? What weight of each is needed to make a mixture that weighs 300 grams? So I know the whole mixture equals 300 grams. Now, remember, these are all equal parts. Yeah, 1 part here, 3 equal parts there, and 6 equal parts there. So the first thing I need to do is find out how many equal parts there are in total. So I have 6, plus 3 is 9, plus 1 is 10. So I know that there's a total of 8 equal parts. 10 equal parts in total. Now, I know that these 10 equal parts are the same as this 300 grams. But I don't want to know what the 10 equal parts equal. I want to know what 1 part equals. So I divide my 300 grams by 10. So here's my 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And what I'm doing now, I'm dividing my 300 by 10. Remember, we don't need a calculator to do this. We move the decimal point 1 place to the left if we're dividing by 10, which equals 30. So I know that each part equals 30 grams. So I have 30 in each one of these. I work out how much flour I need. Well, flour is 6 parts. So that's 30, 60, 90, so on. Okay. All the way up to 6. So 6 times 30 is 180 grams. I know that 3 parts of that is margarine. So I do 3 times 30. That equals 90. 30, 60, 90. I know that 1 part is water, and I'm left with 1 part, which is 30 grams. 1 times 30 is 30. Okay. Now, this is something slightly different. Remember to read the question. The ratio of boys to girls in a classroom was 3 to 7. There are 9 boys in the class. How many girls are there? Now remember what we've done before. We've had a total. We've added the ratios together, added all the parts together, okay, and then divided the total by the parts. Not this time. Read the question. There are 9 boys in the class. So remember the ratio of boys to girls here is 3 boys for every 7 girls. So I know these 3 boys equal 9. 3 parts of boys equals 9 boys in total. Okay. Remember, I'm not including the 7 here because this is the girls. It's only mentioning that there are 9 boys, not everyone. So I know that 3 parts equal 9 boys. I want to know what 1 part equals. So I do 9 divided by 3. 9 divided by 3 is 3. 3, 6, 9. So I know that 1 part is 3. So if 1 part is 3, I've got 7 parts for the girls here. So what I'm doing is I'm doing 3 multiplied by 7. 3 multiplied by 7 is 21. So there are 21 girls. Now, sometimes the question may say the ratio of boys to girls in the classroom was 3 to 7. There are 9 boys in the class. How many people or students or pupils are in the class? So what we need to do there is we need to get to this point to work out the girls. We then add the girls to the boys. So 21 plus 9 equals 30. So there are 30 students or pupils in the class. Finding the value of ratio when one amount is given. So this is very similar to what we've just done. For example, Bill and Ted share an amount in the ratio of 4 to 7. If Ted gets £49, how much does Bill get? So it's telling us that Ted's share is £49. Now, in the ratio, Bill and Ted, so Bill comes first, Ted comes second. So Ted's 7 parts equals £49. Again, I don't want to know how much 7 parts are. I want to know what 1 part is. So I do 49 and I share it out between those 7 parts. So 49 divided by 7. That gives me £7. So I know one part is £7. If Bill gets 4 parts and each part is worth £7, how much does he get? Well, that's 4 multiplied by 7, which would be £28. So Bill gets £28. Okay. You may get a similar question to this, which says how much, which asks for the amount that they share in total, which would be the £28 plus the £49. And that would give us £77. Next, find the value of the ratio when the difference between the terms is given. So this is an example when somebody gets more than somebody else. So Ant and Dec share the amount of money in the ratio of 5:8. Dec gets £15 more than Ant. How much do they each get? First of all, I've got to work out how many more parts does Dec get than Ant. Remember, Ant comes first, then Dec. So Ant is 5, Dec is 8. So 8 take away 5 would give me the difference. Remember, difference is biggest number, take away smallest number, which would give me 3. So there's a difference in 3 parts. Okay, Dec gets 3 parts more. Now that 3 parts is equal to £15. Because it says Dec gets £15 more. He's got 3 parts more, so 3 parts is £15. I need to find the value again of 1 part. Well, if 3 parts is worth 15, I do 15 divided by 3, which will give me £5. So each part is worth £5. I can now work out, because I know that each part is £5, Ant gets 5 parts, so 5 times 5 would give me Ant's share, and 5 times 8 would give me Dec's share. So Ant gets £25, Dec gets £40. Okay, again, I can work out the total that they were shared, because if one gets £25, the other gets £40, add them together, that's £65. And there we go. That is what you may be asked on ratio. Again, if anybody's got any questions, jump onto your Google Meet, ask your tutor, and they will explain it to you in more detail. Okay, thank you for listening. Goodbye.